Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Amara's kitchen. Today I'll be showing you guys how to make tomato powder. So this is about part 8 of this video, the tomato process for my 2021 garden, the harvest that I got from my garden 2021. In case this is the first time you're coming across this channel, you're welcome to my channel. Without wasting much of your time, let's get started. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and to Amara's kitchen. From where we left off the last time, okay? Yeah, so I told you guys we'll be making tomato powder. Yeah, so this is the tomato that have been sitting out here for a few days now. The next part is to take them inside the house and wash the tomatoes properly. Make sure they are well washed. Whenever you buy anything, whether you bought them from the store or you make them from your garden, any vegetable at all, make sure they are properly washed. Okay, so I'll go ahead and take some of them and put them in the container, and then I will start slicing them. I will slice them as little as possible. Okay, so I went ahead and moved to my kitchen counter where I will be more comfortable slicing this. So like I said, slice them as tiny as possible so they can easily dry up, because the tomatoes has to be dried before we can blend or grind them to powder. So I continued with this process. You can slice them facing forward or facing down, whichever way that you feel like slicing them that works better for you, please do so. So after slicing, I'll go ahead and grab my dehydrator and I'll place this in. Once I slice, I place in the dehydrator. I continue slicing. I slice, go ahead and keep placing them in there until I have all of them placed in the dehydrator. I think the dehydrator is like four layers, 4 to 5 layers. Yeah, it should be 4 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they have 4 layers, so I make sure that I have them all placed properly. And I have a couple left, so I'm just squeezing them in to make more room to place the remaining ones. Okay, so once I have all the tomato that I've sliced placed in the dehydrator, I'll go ahead and plug the dehydrator and then let it sit. Okay, just a quick view. As you can see, it has about four sorry, it has about 4 layers, 4 racks. Okay, that's what I meant to say, the rack, 4 racks. So I'll let them sit there for a couple of hours. All right guys, so it's been like 3 hours, about 3 hours since the tomatoes have been drying in the dehydrator. So this is how it looks. It's well dry, like very dry right now, and it dried so fast because I sliced them very thin. Yes, it's very thin. They kind of, my dehydrator get dirty a little bit, but I think I can wash that off once I'm done with the drying process. So that's not what I'm going to be worried about right now. So the tomatoes is properly dried. Okay, so I'll go ahead and remove them from the rack. The dryer is kind of making a little bit loud noise. I have to take it off. So I'll go ahead and remove all the tomato that I've already dried and put them in that baking pan. And I will continue with this process until I have all the tomatoes dried. It might not take me hours. It might take me like a day or even more than that. So this is, you can see how crunchy it looks or it sounds. Yes, very crunchy. So this is the last part of it, and like I said, I did not do this in one day. It took me a couple of days for me to get all these tomatoes dry. Yes, I say cup, I mean couple of days. It's not like couple of hours, about 3 to 4 days for me to get all the tomatoes dried. And I was also drying some of them in the sun, because I did this video during summer, so it was really high. The temperature was really high, about 90 something degree temperature. So I was, as well, while I was using the dehydrator, I was also using the sun to keep them drying more. So this is what it looks like after drying, the process of drying, after days of drying the tomatoes, both in my dehydrator and in the sun. So this is the amount I have gotten. The next time, the next part is to start blending them. So I'll be using my two blenders, my two Ninja blender. So I'll make sure that everything is dry. You don't want it to be wet. You don't want, after spending all this time drying the tomatoes, then you have to grind them with something that is wet. You don't want to ruin the effort. So once everything is dry, ready to go, I'll go ahead and start blending them. So I decided to use my two blenders to facilitate the grinding process. Okay, I don't want it to take so much time, so I want to blend this as fast as I can, So this one is my old blender. I've used this blender since 2018 or early 2019. Yeah, so this blender has been like almost 3 to 4 years now. Yeah, so since 2019, 2020, 21, we are now in 2022. So this blender, the smaller one, has lasted for so long, and it still works so perfect that I don't even want to get rid of it, because you remember, I don't throw my stuff away because it's old. It's only when it's no longer useful, that's only when I throw them away. Okay, so I'll go ahead and blend both of them. So if you're new to my channel, you're welcome to my channel. This channel is basically cooking. I do a lot of cooking recipes. So this is my old blender, and it did a very fantastic job. Like, I'm so impressed with the job, how it blended this so well. Like, the way it did the job more than my expectation. Okay, I'm so happy with the blender. Then this is another one. This one was even more expensive. I bought this blender for like I think $159 excluding tax. If I should add tax, it should be about $180 or so. And this is how it blended. So rough. I was not impressed at all with the job of this blender, even if it was way more expensive. The other one, I bought it for like I think $49. Then with tax and everything, should be about roughly $60 or so, and it has lasted for like almost 3 to 4 years now, but it still does an amazing job. Okay, so I went ahead and blended this again, and I'm not seeing any improvement at all. It's still very rough. You can see it's so rough. I was not impressed with blending this up with the blender. So since this one is not working, I will go ahead and continue using my other blender, the older one, and then put this aside because it's not going to do the job for me. So I'll proceed with using this my old blender to blend all of this, because it goes pretty fast. It's not that it's not like time consuming at all. So this is the last part I'm blending now. Okay, so this has been a very long process this year, and this might be the last video I'll be making regarding the tomato garden. So the next video will be on cleaning up the garden. Okay, all right guys, so here we are. Our tomato powder is ready and very smooth. I love how the blender blended this very well. Okay, so the next step, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the preservation process. I'll go ahead and transfer my blended or grind tomatoes in a different bowl, and then I'm using this airtight bottles to save this up. Okay, so you can use any container that you find very useful. It doesn't have to be this particular bottle that I'm using. You can use canning bottle, you can use plastic container, whatever that you feel that is going to preserve this tomato powder, go ahead and do that. So but I prefer this ones because it's really very, very tight once it's locked down. So I went ahead and placed the amount of tomato that I want inside the bottle, and then I went ahead and closed this up. Okay, so I decided to add in some pepper because when I do this, it preserves this for even a longer period. Yes, use some dried pepper. Okay, so just go ahead and place a couple of the pepper inside the tomatoes. You can place as many as you want. It doesn't have to be 1 or 2 or 3. It doesn't have to be any particular amount. Just place as many as you want in there and then tightly close the bottle. Then I went ahead and get the rest of the tomato powder inside the bottle. So I'm showing you guys another video as well. Just place that in and lock that down and it's ready. So I have just a little bit left. I'll be using my canning bottle to put the remaining one because it's just a very little left. So I'm just gonna place that in. Like I said before, you can use any bottle at all to preserve this stuff. Add the pepper in there. That spiciness that comes from that pepper help in preserving this for a very longer time. You just store this in your kitchen counter, pantry, whatever place you find very interesting in storing your stuff. Go ahead and store this there. It can last for up to 3, 4, even 6 months. It can last more than that. So that's it for this video. I will see you all on my next one, which I'll be showing you guys cleaning up my garden. Okay, thanks for watching and remain blessed. Bye bye.